All right, so I'm probably going to stitch this together with the softďare video in like retrospect. I probably should have continued like the recording for this one, but right now we're gonna look at another impromptu one. This one is Try It, Honeygoblin, body proportions, and I'm pretty sure I know exactly what it is she's gonna bring up, but. Yeah, if you've ever gone to art school, God damn it, Kur. I am Kurambe. Okay, that's funny. But oh my god. But yeah, it's like in general, when you go to art school, you learn about like the ratios between different parts of the body and like the relative lengths between in comparison to each other. They don't work for everyone. So, for example, if you are dealing with someone who is hyperbrachyscelic, which is to say that they have very long limbs, right? Versus someone who is hypermacroscelic, which is to say that they have their limbs aren't particularly long. So you're talking about like really short and really tall people, right? These proportions tend to break down, but I'm pretty sure that's what she's about to talk about.
Very neat. It's very cool. Just like how for most people, the corners of your mouths, when you have a neutral face, so when you're not smiling, you're just like this, go to the middle of your eyes.
This is true. For the majority of people, this is actually true. There's a lot of little anatomy correlations and ratios in art that you learn. You don't have to go to art school in order to learn these. Sometimes you can just learn these through just observation.
The corners of your mouth, if you go straight up, go to the middle of your eyes. You learn a lot about proportions in art school. Oh wait, no, I was measuring the wrong place. My foot is slightly longer as it turns out. Oh, I see. Oh no, you're measuring wrong. Gotcha. Where did you obtain this knowledge? Literally, art school. So
it does turn out you actually do learn a lot about human anatomy in art school, to be perfectly honest. It is just a thing that happens, right? It turns out anatomy is kind of important for art.
When you're in art school, a lot of the times what you do learn is how to make a character look like they're in proportion to themselves. So that means instead of a character necessarily like having a tiny head on their body, there is a number of head lengths that your body should be. I believe it's somewhere around 7 to 8, either 6 to 8. It depends on how tall the character is. But yeah, it's just a fun little fact.
This is also this is mostly true. If you're doing like fashion model designing, you're gonna probably use a 9 heads tall figure, which is freakishly tall, by the way. But I heard art and popped out of bed. God, that's entirely fair, right? But yeah, like if you're gonna do like a fashion model, like a fashion design, oftentimes the model that you use is like 9 heads tall. The majority of people outside of fucking like Nilo-Saharan peoples are not 9 heads tall. Let's be perfectly fair, right? Most groups just don't get that tall. But it's just the standard in fashion. There are people who are significantly shorter, though. And when you get to people who are significantly shorter, a lot of the proportions that you get taught in art school go completely out of the window. And this is actually what trips up some people in the art community when they freak out about like, oh yeah, you can't do this because it makes it look like a child. It's like, to be fair, neotenous traits actually are more common in people than people think. When you learn anatomy in art school, you're doing oftentimes a more what would you say, standardized anatomy, but deviations from the standard of the community are actually a lot more common than people think they are, and they're actually pretty predictable in how they're going to deviate. So
I learned the foot to the arm one from one of my classmates. It's just like, put your foot to the arm, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, I kind of figured she was talking about this one. If you don't know what the foot to the arm thing is, it's in general, and again, there are exceptions to this, but in general, for most people, unless you're really fucking tall, your foot is going to be as long as your forearm. So like the part that goes from your elbow to your wrist, For most people, the back of the heel to the toe is going to actually, like, the length of the toe is going to reach to the wrist. So, you know, fun fact. Keo Knowledge is sent. Mikey Mega did some tutorials about height between a child and a short adult, aka a dwarf. I totally misread it. The first 3 words of that comment. Oh my god. I for something in my brain completely butchered the first 3 words but read the rest of it completely correctly. What the fuck? Okay. My brain, for some reason, your arms and legs are about the same length. For the longest time, I drew really stretched out characters with long limbs. Yeah. Me being too curious and having to test. Again, most people do. And then she brought up the thing earlier about, again, like, if you're in a neutral face, like not smiling, not frowning, not stretching your mouth, the edges of your mouth will usually line up with the middle of your eye. Again, there are people that this is not true of, but, you know. I think you figured out how exactly I may have misread those first 3 words, right? Look, man, I just got through reading like some of the most horrifying things imaginable. I think my eyes can, you know, give me a little bit of comedy and levity, right? Oh, good lord.
What? Magic. Anyway, enjoy. Honey, you're always smiling.
Oh yeah, I forgot. But I have absolute proof about some of these claims in art school being wrong. See, proof positive that both forearm and upper arm are foot length. Yeah, more or less. The bone at least is like foot length, but like if you ball your hand into like a fist, the arm goes up to like the shoulder. But anyway, what the fuck was I saying? Oh yeah. But I could prove that these proportions don't always work. And right here, the classic example of Hassan. Why did you make his head bigger than usual? Exactly, right? You gotta make Hassan's head larger than normal to even get it too small. I'm just saying, right? We have proof positive that just like the standard just doesn't always work. It is a statistical thing. It is not an absolute thing. You'll find people with very many neotenous traits. You'll find people with gerontomorphic traits, right? You'll find that they have different variations in a bell curve style across the population. Again, when you have these like limb variations, you'll find that this is occurring in societies as like a distribution in a bell curve. And it just turns out some people, like, you know, Mr. went to a German brothel, you know, with questionable, services, happens to have a tiny head. Okay, I'm definitely uploading this shit post because, like, I really do just like the tiny head Hassan looks. But yes, the exceptions actually do prove the rule because they show that, like, again, these things occur on a bell curve. Like, they're not, like, absolutes.
Slightly. That is true of real life, too. Yeah, right? Right? Tell chat a fact. Your foot is as long as your forearm. Try it.
Yeah.
Put your foot to your forearm.
I'm pretty sure, hold on, someone said, the Kionala measured, let's see.
That I'm right. Do it.
I thought...
Yeah, right? Right?
Oh yeah, Nightwear Fantasy just tried it too,
Some people's forearms might be a little longer. But that's a fun little proportion fact of your body. You get to learn that in art school, so. Everything is in relation to a proportion that already exists in your body.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, pretty sure like wingspan and height are basically the same in most people. Let's see. Kinal says, you draw what you know, and I have long limbs, so stretched out characters made sense even when they were proportional. I mean, yeah, that's fair, but also, what's the example? I mean, like, do we not remember one of the more common and one of the more popular manga styles out there, right? Manga artists out there, Clamp. Just all you have to do is look at their proportions, and you'll notice like a lot of these characters are very lanky, right? And it's because it turns out there's something aesthetically pleasing about the the particular like very tall, aesthetic. Actually, this one was really pretty. Hold on. Yeah, this one is actually really pretty. I actually quite like this one. But yeah. I don't have any Clamp art books, but I have art books from like other shoujo stuff. Not all shoujo is the same. There are shoujo where this is not the case, right?